Hey everyone, it's Melinda with Tailored and Teal, and welcome back to another What Sold video. If you are new to my channel, I am a part-time online reseller on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay, and every 2 weeks on this channel, I go over every single sale on those 3 platforms, and today's video is sales from February 1st through February 15th of 2023. I am happy to announce that sales, at least on Poshmark, were a lot better than January just in general. I did have one sale on Mercari, and it was a lot of 10 vintage Pillsbury bake-off cookbooks. They were smaller cookbooks, so kind of more like booklets. I picked these up at an estate sale where it was the 3rd day, so everything was 50% off. I picked up this lot of 10 for 50 cents. They sold for $20. I did offer free shipping, so it was $5.75 for media mail. There was a fee of $3.08, giving me a profit of $11.17, and these sold in 1 day. Now, I am not recommending anybody to pick these up. I just had good experience with them previously when they were given to me for free. So when I saw the whole stack of them, I knew that they were going to be very cheap to pick up. I definitely grabbed them, and I'm happy that I did. So moving on to Poshmark, where I had 17 sales. The first sale was a pair of boots. These were Lexi and Abby black Jessa over-the-knee faux suede boots. I do believe that these were a sample or like a floor model at either Lord & Taylor or one of those high-end stores because it had a different looking stamp on the bottom of them. I got these out of a ThredUp rescue box, I believe back in 2020, so it did take some time for them to sell. They were a smaller size, a size 6, but finally they sold for $20 and no shipping discount. Next was a pair of Zara basic black faux leather wingtip Oxford platform ankle booties. These were really interesting, a bigger size. They came out of my Helpsy boot box, the most recent one that I did a few months ago, and they sold for $20. Again, no shipping discounts, and both pair of boots sold on offer from customers. Next up is a boys coat. This was the brand Land's End. It was a nice army green color. It had that really fluffy Sherpa lining. I don't know if it was real Sherpa. And I think that there was some down material in it to keep it really insulated and warm. It wasn't in the greatest condition. There was definitely a lot of fading. There were some rips on the lining inside, but it still sold, and it sold for $34 and no discounted shipping. And that was an offer that someone sent to me. Next is a vintage Jeanette iridescent peach marigold iris and herringbone dinner plate. The pattern is called iris and herringbone, and it's a beautiful flower right in the center of the plate. This was part of my mom's collection, and it sold for $11 with discounted shipping. Next is a piece of jewelry that came out of my most recent ThredUp jewelry box. That was the 5-pound rescue box, and it was a sterling silver stamped plain solid cuff bracelet. This sold in a day or two for $12 with discounted shipping. Sterling silver, yes, can bring high money, but this was just a plain old bangle bracelet. It was kind of a little bit scratched up, so I went off of comps, and I'm happy with that quick flip. Next is a new with tags Levi's mid-length denim jean rolled cuff stretch shorts. I purchased these to resell from Whatnot, so I did pay up a little bit more because I did have to pay shipping, but they sold for $15 with discounted shipping. Then we have a Banana Republic lace overlay white blouse, had short sleeves. It was a very sturdy and durable knit fabric. I believe that there was some rayon content in it. I have been going through all of my old items that I've had since 2019, taking them out of inventory, re-steaming them, re-photographing them, and creating them as new listings. And this was one item that I relisted and did all of those things to it, and it sold for $9. I only ended up making $1.61 in profit, but it's better than donating it. The next sale was a bundle of 2 lug purses, and that's LUG is the brand name. These are the last 2 purses that I had back when I purchased them in October from Amish Country USA thrift stores, And so this was the Lug Pink Coral Monorail and the Lug Gray Quilted Moped Deluxe. A great brand for traveling because there's lots of storage, lots of space, and these two sold together in a bundle for $50. Next is a DR2, so that's Daniel Rain 2, sold at Nordstrom, I believe. Maroon mixed media roll tab sleeve button neckline blouse. This had like a chiffon fabric in front and then like a jersey knit material in the back, but all the same color. And it sold for $12 with discounted shipping. Next is a lot of 2 chunky red wooden large pendant necklaces. This I actually had a case opened up, but it's because one of them broke in shipping. I don't know how, because I bubble wrapped them really well. I put them in a box, like I actually put them in a regional A box because they were pretty long and they were kind of tight, like I couldn't fold them around each other, so they had to go into a larger box, and one of them just unfortunately broke while in transit. It did take Poshmark a few days to get back to the seller and myself, but eventually they decided to release my earnings and also refund the buyer for the whole lot. I tried to ask about the other necklace if it came in one piece and they never got back to me. So I still got my money. I'm happy. I did my due diligence with my packing, and I'm happy that Poshmark sided with me on this one. Next is a Talbot's Black Watch tartan plaid long wool blend blazer. This I picked up in January at the Salvation Army. I did pay full price for it, so I paid $7.99, but I knew that it would sell for a decent profit, and it finally sold for $40 with discounted shipping. Next is a Whistles striped sleeveless tie waist midi dress. This kind of had like a retro feel with it with all of the stripes. It was in really great condition after I had stain treated it and laundered it, but it came out pretty well. And it sold for $40 with discounted shipping, and this came out of one of my many thread up bulk rescue boxes. Next is another item that I just recently picked up from Salvation Army in January. This was Chico's blue and white striped button back blouse. This was a size 3, so that's an extra large, and it sold for $17 with discounted shipping. Next is a blouse that came out of my America's Thrift Supply micro bale. This was the brand Metropolitan, which I do think it was vintage. It was a rayon orange embroidered tank top, very boho, art to wear, almost hippie vibes, if you will, and it sold for $14 with discounted shipping. Next is an item that came out of one of my ThredUp men's rescue box. It was a Vans men's gray short sleeve crew neck logo t-shirt. This actually sold on eBay once before, but the customer never purchased it, so it was relisted and it sold for $10. Next is a vintage imperial glass amber octagonal candy or trinket dish. I think I'm saying octagonal, right? And it sold for $14, no discounted shipping. And this I just picked up at a random junk store along with some other items. It did have a lot of interest on Mercari specifically, but no one wanted to purchase it over there, probably because the shipping was pretty high. So happy it sold on Poshmark. And then the last item was from my Goodwill blue box of jewelry, and it was an American Eagle simulated aqua stone heart double chain necklace, and it sold for $12 with no discounted shipping. So of my total sales on Poshmark of 17 sales, I had $350 in sales, $74.80 in fees, $15.48 in shipping discounts, giving me a profit of $259.72. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $20.59. A really nice 2 weeks on Poshmark, back up to where it normally is. Moving on to eBay, where I had 21 sales. The first sale was another item that I relisted, rephotographed, all that good stuff from 2019. It was a pair of Selena Gomez Robin Egg Blue polka dot capri skinny leg pants. This sold for $8.75. Next up was another blouse from my micro bale from America's Thrift Supply. This was the brand Wet Seal. It was a green camo sheer tank top. It sold for $8.99. I am still running a 10% off sale in my eBay store, so that was technically my full asking price. Next is an item that sold really fast, and I'm slightly surprised, but also not at the same time. So it was a Nixon Men's Robot Rock, the rerun, that's what it all said on the back, gold 30mm stainless steel watch. It was untested. I don't have watch repair tools or any tools that I can get up underneath the battery to change it out and, possibly have it sell for more, because I don't really sell watches. But I do get watches here and there in my jewelry boxes, so I probably should invest in one. But anyway, this was still on the Nixon website for like $180, I think, or something kind of crazy. The comps were pretty good, especially for untested items. I listed this at either $25 or $30, and it sold within one day on an offer of $20, which I was perfectly happy with that quick flip, especially for something that I wasn't sure if it actually worked or not. Next is a new with tags Sea Folly Shady Lady Summer Memoirs floral cotton floppy hat. This was from a bulk liquidation box. My cost of goods was very high for this. There were a lot of items that I couldn't sell. I honestly am not really sure if it was worth it, but this sold for $28.75, and after fees and shipping, I ended up losing $3.99. Next was a vintage Sarah Coventry large pearl dangle silver tone chain necklace. This actually was two separate necklaces put together, and then the large pearls at the bottom could be removed and you could wear it like a variety of different ways. This sold very fast as well, in less than a day, and it sold for $13, and that was an offer that someone sent to me. Next up is an Avon lot of little figurines. These were all dressed up mini shoe and handbag collection. They were blue and pink in colors. They were from 2001, so they were vintage. And these were my mom's, so they were free to me, and they sold for $12.50. Next is a new with tags Live a Little bright red 100% wool moto style jacket. This was a size extra large. This came out of my Helpsy outerwear box, and it sold for my full asking price of $26.99. Next is a pair of salt and pepper shakers. These were vintage Blue Willow bulbous round salt and pepper shakers. They did have a lot of crazing to them, but it did mean that they were old, and they were from my mom's collection, so I know that they are vintage. And they sold for $10. They did not have stoppers in the bottom of them, and they were in the greatest condition, so I was happy with that $10 offer that the customer sent to me. Next is a new with tags connected apparel blush pink caplet sheath dress. This was a size 12 petite. It was free to me, and it sold for $20. Next is a pair of vintage Avon 1990s pink rose quartz cabochon gold tone clip-on earrings. These were in fantastic condition, and they sold for $11.99. Next is an item I picked up from an estate sale because I just thought that it was hilarious. So it was a little ceramic thing that you would hang on a wall or on a door, and it said that this house is protected by killer dust balls, and it sold for $6.99. Next is another item that I relisted and redid from 2019. This had a small hole in it that I repaired. It was an Alia blue thermal 3/4 length sleeve crochet lace ruffled blouse. This was a size extra small. This brand sold at Francesca's, so it's not worth a lot, but it did sell for $9, and that was an offer the customer sent to me. Next was a lot of high heel shoe themed items. So it included a coffee mug, 2 brooches, and a little trinket dish that were all in the shapes of high heels, and it sold for $9.27, and this was a free to me item. Next is another item from my America's Thrift Supply micro bale. This was City Knits blue micro ribbed knit sleeveless stretchy blouse. This was definitely vintage, and it sold for $11.75. Next is another item that I purchased from Whatnot. So again, my cost of goods are a little bit higher on there because I do have to pay for shipping. I am really not tuning into Whatnot shows anymore. I just don't really see any value in it anymore, especially to resell. Maybe for my own personal, I just don't have the time or really even the patience to sit down and watch an hour-long show. But anyway, it was a new tags 7 weekend distressed 5-inch inseam denim shorts. These were a size 12 and they sold for $17.25. Next up is another free item. I sold a lot of free stuff this time. It was a vintage clear pressed glass swallow bird. I think it was a salt cellar because it had a little hole in it and it did have its tail up. I don't know if that represents anything, kind of like an elephant's trunk is up means good luck, but I put it anyway. I did use the keyword replacement in case someone was looking for a replacement for their set, maybe one broke or they lost one, and it sold for $4. Not the best profit, but I ended up making an overall profit of $3.50 after shipping and fees and all of that good stuff. Next is an A gold E, and that's exactly how it said it on the tag, A dot gold and then E dot. I have no idea what it stands for. When I first got this from a mystery box, I thought it was the brand A Goldie, but it definitely wasn't. But it was a really fun dress. It was the Sophie leopard print pink floral sheath dress. It did seem to be vintage just based off of the tags, and it sold for $22 and it went to Canada. Then we have a Bueno tapestry studded faux leather reptile print carpet bag or purse. This again, I purchased off from Whatnot. I will not be doing much sourcing from there anymore because my cost of goods are high. I paid $10.80 for this item with shipping. So it did sell for $17 and I did still make a profit of $2.86, but lesson learned on the Whatnot sourcing. Then we have a vintage made in Japan strawberry fruit creamer pitcher pourer. I did use the keyword replacement again, just in case someone was looking to replace it in their own set, and it sold for $9.89. Next is a sterling silver 925 stamped faceted mini crystal satellite dainty necklace. These little crystals were super, super tiny. I did test them for diamonds just in case. They were not, but I do believe that they were either crystal or cubic zirconia just because it looked like they were crafted well. They were very, very shiny, and it did pass the acid test for sterling silver. This sold within about a week of me listing it for $22.49. And then the last item to sell was an item that came out of my via trading Amazon jewelry lot. This was a pair of red apple and antique bronze bow dangle earrings. I wasn't really sure if it was an apple or a heart, but I kind of decided that it looked more like an apple. They were made of ceramic. It came with a wooden box and a little gift bag, and it sold for $6. So of my 21 eBay sales, I had $296.61 in sales. I did make a shipping profit of $41.16 because what the customer pays is always a little bit more than what I pay through eBay's discounted shipping. I had $73.96 in fees, giving me a profit of $263.81. And my average sales price for each item that sold was $14.12. And now moving on to my total numbers, where I had 39 sales for February 1st through February 15th of 2023. I made, and this is a weird number, so if anyone gets freaked out about this, I apologize. It's just what my numbers were. $666.61 in sales, $131.91 in fees. My cost of goods was $150.32, giving me a profit of $384.38. And my cost of goods for each item that sold was $3.85, well under that $4 threshold that I like to keep my items at. As always, I truly appreciate you tuning into this What Sold video. It is almost spring, at least it certainly feels like it. It was a high of 60 one day here, and normally in February, our temperatures in upstate New York is usually high 20s, low 30s. So a 60-degree day was quite out of the ordinary, but I'm hoping that people will be starting to shop for spring and floral items, and I hope that you are having abundance in sales as well. And as always, I will see you in the next video. Bye!